Gages, Gageo here once again. Oh crap, I gotta do another video response for the Zizzler. Okay, so we're talking about these things you call aesthetics. So we're talking about aesthetics, and more or less, I think we're gearing towards classics, aesthetics. Generational aesthetics, more or less, are redos of any G1 character aesthetics. So, Zizzler's talking about stuff again, like he always does, and this time he's talking about like Mind Wipe and a few other figures that he believes fits and falls into this classics line territory. And Vigadeth and a few other people had a couple things to say to that too. A very awesome discussion just for random, you know, aesthetical appealness. Very good indeed. So, my appeal is that no, Mind Wipe, in my opinion, of course, is not really falling into a classics character. And this is why. Reason being is because just in all reality, I start looking at the new movie line Transformers, and that goes all the way from the 2007 first Transformers movie all the way up to Dark of the Moon, what we have nowadays. I look at it as these are more of an insect type humanoid race, or you could, like, I mean, they just have this buggy feel, or they have this insect feel, or they have this just, it's different than your standard classics line. This feel, you know, like what it feels like. Reason being, lots of classics and Generations characters are a lot of smooth lines and straight panels, whereas a lot of movie line stuff is a lot of very detailed biceps, and there's like wires and crap running all over the place. You know, point being, Dark of the Moon, side swipe, as you can tell, just lots of kibbly detail in here, just tons of it. Look at all that deliciousness. The detail like goes all the way. I mean, we don't even have to talk about how the legs aren't straight. You could straighten them out if you felt like it, but just the amount of detail goes into more of a movie style of a Transformer. Going above and beyond the call of normal detail. Putting in reality's sake. Like, okay, so if a human was a genius and invented this out of the back of his mind, that's what it would look like. Not saying that that's what a humanoid type robot would look like. Heck, you never know. They all might look like a bunch of blocky Transformers like the G1 show. I mean, who knows? I mean, this versus this. More of a blocky style Transformer. And like I said, very little detail in the way of the shoulders. More like an accent, like kind of like more of like a paint job would be, you know, I mean, less detail, and, you know, there's not like wires and crap running all over the place. It's just more like accents, really, just to kind of make it look nice. You make the body pieces, like the intermediate connecting pieces from the feet to the hands to the head, to look better than just a bunch of stringy pieces of crap with wires hanging out of them. Like substance, like us, kind of like just solid. You know, no muscles or tendons or veins hanging out, just, you know, a piece of skin. Right, you know, that's it. And then there's a shirt over that, so basic concept, and and that's why I think, like, when you go for a classics aesthetic, you really have to take in a lot of information. Hubcap, I think, is his name, or whatever the heck this guy's name is, could be put down for a classics figure, only in the sense that they're really not pushing for that movie style feel. However, the reason why it's still, to me, a movie figure is this very humanoid structure. This very, thighs, you know, knees, shins, feet, forearms, biceps, shoulders, you know, I mean, very, very humanoid. More like Transformers Prime or anything animated. It actually has more of a human characteristic. So it would be like a human that puts on a bunch of car parts and then can transform into it. Is more like what Transformers Prime and animated is to me. I mean, this is a very slender, sleek, aerodynamic looking Starscream. Very, very beautiful. All around, just the whole figure fits into itself, very well engineered, and just overall looks great. Also a pretty cool toy to play with. Still, it has this very simple, you know, not very much in the way of wires and crap running all over the place, just very sleek. But this thing doesn't have the blocky style. It has more of human features, you know, like actual bulge at the calf where it goes down to the shin and into an ankle right there. Same thing with, you know, an actual bicep style mold, big shoulder, big forearm. I mean, it's taking into account human attributes into a robotic form, and it's getting more human and less robotic, if you know what I mean. More human, less more human, less robotic. That's truly what Classics line is, except for the fact that Classics are all just upgrades of what they used to be. I mean, in all reality, that truly goes definition-wise what it is. But a lot of these figures are all G1 anyway. They're just brought back so kids can buy them and so they can make money off of a name that they used to use a long time ago in one episode of G1. But, I mean, I guess we get them too. But, you know, point in case, I do understand where the Zizzler is coming from. Most definitely. Here's a good example. I have a new Dark of the Moon figure here. Here it is. If you've seen my review, you know, obviously you know who this is. This is Guzzle. If you don't know who this is, or if you haven't seen my review, totally check it out. Very awesome guy. The only reason why I'm saying that this guy puts off kind of a G1 feel is this color scheme. The contrast of yellow, red, and the blue in the face with his actual, you know, color of his alt mode being what it is. Just kind of has that feel. No, most definitely not. I mean, he has all this crazy ass detail up in the shoulders and legs, and even in the face he's got more detail than he should have. Just like this snarled up face. And I mean, he really has this very this movieverse feel, very much so. But the color scheme makes me think G1. Makes me think G1, not make me say Classics, but it makes me feel that way. It puts me in that happy zone. But I don't know. I guess the only reason why I say Transformer Prime wouldn't really push my way towards the Classics line. I mean, yeah, granted, it looks great next to my Classics figures. I mean, they just do, because if you got two good figures sitting next to each other, they're gonna look great no matter what, whether it's Marvel or DC. And if they're both awesome and they sit them next to each other, they're both gonna look great. I don't care who makes them. And it's like if you got SH Figure Arts, Ore Sanjo, and then you got yourself over here like I don't know, maybe like a NECA figure, probably like a Predator figure. They'll probably look pretty good next to each other, considering the quality of both of the people who make the actual figure. So I mean, you got two quality lines sitting next to each other. Of course they're gonna look good to each other. But you know, I understand where you're coming from, Zizzla. But I totally disagree about Mind Wipe. But I agree about Sea Spray, you know, and stuff like that. You know, Sea Spray, even though the head's different, total figure itself, to me, you know, screams Sea Spray. I mean, the whole figure is like redesigned. It looks exactly like what he would if he was like that, you know. So pretty cool. I'm gonna have to cut the video off because I think it was. It's 10 minutes, 17 seconds. I'm gonna put my eyeball in the camera, I bid you adieu, my Transformer friends. You have a nice day. Gageoninja out. Help me. The Transformers, they're holding me hostage.